What's up, YouTube? It's me, SMDJ here, and welcome back to our live stream. We are indeed live, and welcome back to another behind the scenes live stream. The channel's first and only Plush story arc. The SMDJ Plush, the Toad arc, behind the scenes reflection. Welcome back, everyone, to another stream, and welcome back to another installment into the SMDJ Behind the Scenes archives. Today we're covering a topic. I don't know why I typed today again. A topic that feels right to be one of the first following last year's retrospective of the whole behind the scenes content. Earlier this month, I realized that one of the Plush videos reached 5 years, the 5-year-old status, and after a second glance, I realized it was the beginning, very beginning, of the channel's only story arc, the Toad arc. With this milestone reached, I feel like now is a better time than any to reflect upon this arc and see how it holds up 5 years since its creation. How has this arc shaped future SMDJ Plush videos? What elements from this story arc are still present to this day? If I could change anything about it, how would I? And finally, is this really the only story arc in the 5+ years of SMDJ Plush videos? Only one way to find out. If you're excited for new behind-the-scenes content, then please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I need to check to make sure that was audible. Okay. Yeah. That was pretty audible. Okay. I was making sure the music didn't overpower me. But yeah, Toad Town from Paper Mario just felt fitting for this stream because it's the Toad Arc reflection. So Toad Town from Paper Mario is our intro music. So there's that. And obviously, what we're going to talk about is the Toad Arc itself. Let me get that playlist open. And we'll look at this in a second. But yeah, I also should probably get a couple other playlists open for the stream too, I just realized. But this is the main one that we're focusing about. I'll just get all DJ playlists in another tab. Just so I can bounce between a couple other ones. So there we go, the general DJ playlist section. But yeah, so we got another interesting behind the scenes retrospective to be doing today. But that's not all, because you will notice there is a tag in the description. I have someone that's going to be speaking on behalf of the Toad Arc with me, and I might as well call them now and have them join the stream. Hello, you are live.
Hello.
Hello there.
I made it to the party.
You made it to the party, the anniversary party.
Yes. I honestly didn't realize it was 5 years, to be honest.
Yep, well, half of these episodes are 5 years. The other ones will be 5 years soon, because they carry over into April and, like, June, July, whatever. Not June, July. Yes. May and June. Anyways, if you don't know who this lovely voice is, check out the channel on screen right now. Check out the Mario JB. There's content here you should check out.
Yes, there was Among Us the other day. People should watch it.
Yeah. And he does updates, he does Minecraft, he does some other games you can see from his live stream catalog. There's a lot here to see and do, so you should check it out.
It's an amazing channel.
He's at 75, guys, just another 25 to reach that 100 mark. Come on. You know you want to. You know you want to push it. So, you should push it. You should.
You should watch my live streams I do. They're pretty great. I'm gonna have one tomorrow anyways.
Wow. So you gotta love the self-promotion.
75, oh my god, that's an amazing number.
Boop. So check that out. But yeah, let me switch over to the other screen now. I should be on the other screen. 10 likes for more behind the scenes content, because yes, we're back with behind the scenes. I can't believe it.
You sound like Baldy.
But yeah, so like I mentioned in the description, after last year's retrospective of the entire playlist, we are here with the first modern installment of the behind the scenes playlist, and boy do we have a doozy. It's sure the doozy of one to talk about. So
Yes, indeed.
So yeah.
I'm gonna say that we did good for a first arc.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. So where to begin? So I feel like we need to actually begin in the plush video category before we even get to the Toad Arc. So we should look at the general plush playlist, because if we look here, in way before the Toad Arc even came into existence, we will see that we have a lot of slow adventures going on here. We have a lot of characters playing video games. We have people reacting to stuff. And we get past a certain point. We get to I would say the broken computer, and we start to see some interesting things unfold in early 2019. We have broken computer, we have Super Bowl ads, the first Valentine's Day special, and then right after that is where we get to where we are now. So, but things to note before even the Toad Arc began, there's a scene in the Super Bowl video which could be kinda teasing something, and then there's a whole broken computer, which is labeled Shadow Bonnie's plan, which is another thing to note down. So,
You know, the Super Bowl commercial is the only kind of sports related thing we have.
yeah.
I mean, it was fun to do. It was actually fun doing something weird and different.
Yeah. Well, again, the earliest part of the history timeline, whatever you want to call it, and obviously, again, it's all these like smaller adventures. Nothing like if we jump to now, we see a lot more kind of chaotic adventures. We have diets and people arriving and reunions and ghosts. None of that was going on.
The ghost dog.
Yeah, none of that was going on. Like, we had a bucket on vacation. We had a bucket on vacation 5 years ago. And things were way different. And again, people were playing video games, which I'm going to talk about that towards the end of the stream. But yeah. So yeah, a lot of interesting things are going on, but then we get to the Toad Arc. So we reach March of 2019, and the Toad Arc unleashes itself in an interesting place, because I remember when I said this is a video I remember being like, oh, that's another 5-year-old video, and I looked at it and I'm like, wait a minute, that's the start of the arc, and I'm like, this one I think is an interesting video, because I believe this was mainly just a normal Plush video, and I believe there was just a thing tacked on to the very end. Like looking back at it, I think this was just a regular Plush video. So if we hop into it for a minute, and we have.
At that time, we thought it was only an original Plush video until we kind of turned into an arc.
Well, the description even says there's a secret at the end. But yeah, so like it starts out as just like this whole video, Mario going to sleep, and there's just a bunch of random like night terrors. And I think Shadow Bonnie makes an appearance here.
What?
Oh, the gods.
It's like random cameos, like for random plushies.
Oh no, I don't think that's even Shadow Bonnie. I think Gray Bonnie again having another appearance at the top.
I thought he made like a couple appearances in there.
Yeah.
Get a drink and let's hey guys, the video
outro. So yeah, then it's just random static at the very end. And this is where like we tease that while Mario was having all these nightmares, something seems to be going on.
You had a gamepad in the background?
That was a gamepad in the background. And we even have a comment, being a pinned comment nonetheless, being like, oh, Toad was kidnapped, and yeah. And then we get the broader story in Toad is missing. This is like when we're like, oh, we're gonna, so the video teases Toad being missing, and it's like, well, how does Toad come to be missing? So like there's a whole video about Toad being missing, and even like starts with the clip, and like it's another normal typical Plush video until we get Shadow Bonnie and Phantom Foxy involved, and then Toad goes missing. Where'd he go? I don't know. Where did he go?
There's quite a few where I wasn't in. They're in the arc.
Well, I think there's only a couple. Well, there's a few that are strictly like we're seeing stuff from Toad's and Shadow Bonnie's side of things, but like there's like the whole other side of things. Then we get to an interesting point where we have the first ever St. Patty's Day special, and it has lore. It has lore to where like there's a whole search party. We got some of the animatronics in on it, Yoshi, and we got Chef. We got Mr. Chef over here making an appearance.
We had Skinny Yoshi.
Yeah. We have. This is the introduction of the sentient green cupcake.
Cupcake?
It's a sentient green cupcake. I wonder why. So it's almost like he's powered by St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I wonder why.
And we had them trying to look for something because he's gonna give the lore to where Toad is.
Oh my god.
And everyone finds out that he's with Shadow Bonnie and Phantom Foxy, and they're kind of like, okay, so what do we do now?
Mario, your wish came true. Did you
What
What are we gonna do?
Your wish came true. Is that what you wanted? It wasn't cringe. Okay, I'm just looking back at the old comments. Bro, when people engaged with the QOTD, I can't believe it. So yeah, so first three set up the story arc, and we have things from Mario, the Mario side of things. Then we go over to what I would say, so like we have these three, which are all the first half, I would say. Then we get to the middle half where Shadow Bonnie is just planning. He's doing a lot of things.
He's planning evil things.
Like in here, he comes and like I think let me see what does the description say. Shadow Bonnie has another plan. Find out tomorrow. Live stream. April Fool's. It's his plan 1.5 because of the April Fool's video. That's right. So yeah, I think he prized information out of Toad.
And Toad.
Okay.
You know what? We'll watch this one. This one's a short one. No, I misclicked. Trying to bang it at the beginning. So I think he prized information out of Toad here.
Wakey, wakey. Yes, it's me. Now, I'm gonna need your help again for another mission, Toad.
Okay.
Can you get me into the Mario Brothers house undetected? I'm gonna need to get to the computer.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so he uses Toad to get infiltrate places. And a few other things. Yeah, he has a plan. I believe his plan backfires at first. That's why we have like the plan in the aftermath. Yeah, this one doesn't have. Toad's not in the thumbnail, but I think Toad's in this one.
Hey guys, instead of getting and I think you want to do it today.
Isn't Toad in this one, or is this just a Shadow Bonnie? This might just be a Shadow Bonnie episode, but it's part of the arc because it's like, oh, his plan backfired.
I think I remember that it was only Shadow Bonnie, but I believe that was in there.
Well, it's Shadow Bonnie, Phantom Foxy, and Gray Bonnie. Or I think they all have like an argument. And if I remember, Plan 1.5 was for Shadow Bonnie to do a multiplayer Minecraft live stream on Hypixel with someone that I had played Minecraft with like once at the time. and that stream just quality was not stable at all, so that's why that plan failed. And then we get to essentially his takeover, which this is just technically a live stream, but this is interesting because it's essentially Shadow Bonnie altering save files on me, and it was mainly just altering the Pizza Sim save file. And the funny thing is, this stream cut off, I think, because like my connection cut out or something, and old YouTube would just stop the stream if your connection dropped a minute. So yeah, I even tease it in the description that it's like, oh, the freaking stream got cut off. So yeah, Shadow Bonnie has like this whole stream, and he infiltrates it, and we get some funny Shadow Bonnie lore here, kinda. It's just him playing a game. Apparently his live chat, I don't know if anyone is actually in chat. Apparently there's a live chat replay, so I'm seeing...
YouTube was strange back then.
Hashtag pans... No, Shadow Bonnie commented in his own live chat under the DJ brand. So, Shadow Bonnie did some trolling.
How dare he try to troll?
And then I think, obviously there's no video in between the takeover and essentially the peak finale of the arc, but I think he essentially just walks away from that stream again like he did from his first failed attempt. He at least walks away satisfied that he at least fiddled with Pizza Sim's save file and whatnot. So
Mario gets kicked out.
yeah, now we get to essentially the kind of the finale area where everyone's just going about their day. Toad randomly shows back up and he's like, oh hey, I'm back, I escaped. But not really, because Shadow Bonnie and Phantom Foxy are right behind him. And
wasn't the final like a two-parter?
yeah, the finale is a two-parter. Because it's like they essentially overthrow Mario, Luigi, and everyone else. They're like, oh, we're taking over the place. And we get a funny scene if I can find it. It's right here.
Toad, do the honor.
I think it's like before he gets Toad out.
Yeah, he gets what he wants, and then he literally like once he gets what he wants, he's like, I don't need you, Toad, anymore. And he kind of just throws Toad out too. He's like, you know, I got what I wanted. I don't need you. Typical villain stuff. It's like, I don't need you. I got what I wanted. I just kicked Mario Luigi out of their house. And then the video ends on a cliffhanger.
Anymore. Why was Toad evil?
Ends up with him in the car. Don't know where they go.
They're gonna go in the car because they're gonna drive somewhere. And then before I actually get to this one, there is a regular Plush video that has a small tease of the finale, where there's a video called A Day in the Life of Phantom Foxy, which is like, again, post most of the Toad arc, and it's just a lot about what Phantom Foxy does in a day. And we encounter him, he ends up having a chat with Toad, and he finds out Toad's been doing this recovery plan to make up for essentially betraying everyone and then being used and then getting tossed out. So he's like, and I think Phantom Foxy agrees with it. Let me see.
Yeah, I won't say anything. I'm glad.
He's right there. He said he's glad. So like Phantom Foxy, like he may be evil, but I think Phantom Foxy shows a bit of his good side here in this video.
I say he's like both.
Yeah.
Like, he can be bad at times, but then he can turn into be a good person.
Yeah. And then we get to the Toad redemption, the end of the finale, where they've gone over to, and this is funny, I'm talk about this point in a minute. So obviously, as we saw earlier in the arc, we had other characters helping out, and they ended up going to Bowser's Castle, where Chef Pee-Pee and all the other Bowser characters are, because they have nowhere else to go. So they just kind of go there. They crash on the couches, and here we get the introduction of Yoshi's been pigging out. Where we have Yoshi pigging out here, and he begins his Tubby Yoshi arc. Yeah, we get the Tubby Yoshi arc, and then while they're here, Toad shows up again, and it's almost like you don't want to trust it, because last time he showed up, well, you know, things were not good. But he comes in, he talks to everyone, and he's like, I got a surprise for everyone. Follow me. And then we find out that everyone, mainly off of Toad, all came together to put together a new place for the Mario crew. And then we essentially just get this whole tour montage where it's like, hey, we got a new place. Everything we had previously is either repurchased or was taken from the old house. Yada yada. And then it just ends with it just ends here. It ends with them getting the new house and starting new adventures. And kind of accepting Toad's apology. They accept Toad's apology. And they're like, well, we accept your apology. You were kind of forced to do some of the things you did, so we forgive you. So yeah, and then back over to regular Plush videos. After the Toad's Redemption arc, this kind of leads into a big story point, kinda, where like we have. Yeah, so I forgot when I mentioned the day in the life as Phantom Foxy. There's a story thread going on here where Shadow Bonnie's trying to infiltrate another channel, and he comes from that losing. He failed to infiltrate another channel. He just wanted more. He wanted more power, kinda. And then we get to kinda. And then we get to, after literally everything settles, it's only been like a day or, like, I would say maybe almost a month or so, give or take, from them getting the new house. But literally like a month later, they're throwing like this big party, and that spirals into the 1 year special, following the Toad arc. So we essentially get like this big story, then like a couple other smaller videos that lead into essentially a big movie, give or take, or a mini movie. So it's kind of a, you know, an interesting retrospective. And something else that should be mentioned about the Toad arc is, besides this being an experiment with a story arc, part of this was brought on to do because like half of the videos are recorded at a place that I was once living at, and then obviously I came to a new place. So it's like I wanted to, since I had started videos at the time, like I said, from like at least late 2018 up to like early 2019, you know, with me doing videos, I needed like a way to continue them story-wise. So I figured the Toad arc would be part of a way of me being like, you know what, we'll do this whole thing where Shadow Bonnie gets like a win, and Toad makes up for it with, you know, a new house. So that's like a real life reason why some of the events in the Toad arc happen, but like obviously there are some in-universe story elements of why, you know, they get a new house.
One reason behind this, the Mario getting kicked out, basically.
Yeah, Mario getting kicked out,
That's
but
essentially what was, and then going into the new house is what brought us to where we are now.
Yeah. And also we do get to see, wait, hold on. Yeah. Where are the? Also in between like kick out and the new house, we do get to see again some other stuff Shadow Bonnie is doing, again infiltrating channels, Day in the Life of Phantom Foxy. It is interesting that in between that period of Mario kicking out a new house, that a majority of the videos were essentially Shadow Bonnie centered, which I think makes the most sense for those being Shadow Bonnie videos, because it's like where with us not knowing where Mario and Luigi are until the new house, I think it makes sense for the videos in between that and whatever to be, Shadow Bonnie videos. The only outlier is this random like it's not really canon, I would say, or it's just a spin-off video where you got Luigi playing Ultimate Custom Night before he's even in the new house, but that's more of a spin-off, I would say, than actual story points. But yeah, I didn't think about that till now, but yeah, it's fitting that a lot of these videos were Shadow Bonnie based in between the kick out and the redemption. It's very fitting. So yeah. So let's take a peek at the couple questions I have in the description. So how does it hold up? I will say, as the arc continued, I think the quality improved a little bit, because there are, I will say, a couple of the first ones as I opened Mario's Nightmare earlier. The quality on that one was a bit rocky. I wouldn't say you can tell what's going on, but like it wasn't the cleanest compared to this, where you can actually see what's going on. Toad's Missing had decent shots, but I think there were still a few that were kind of out of place.
It was mostly the light.
Yeah, lighting on the earlier episodes were not great.
Because now we have kind of better lighting now than we did then.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know. Well, I think the story arc does hold up pretty well. There is, there's some interesting elements that stick out. Kind of like there's like a whole, essentially, 20-minute video of Shadow Bonnie gaming.
I think that's like the longest video in there.
It's the longest part of the arc, and you could watch half of it, or you can kind of just understand from after the two smaller videos of the plan and the aftermath that he tried streaming, he tried getting onto the computer.
He tried his best, but failed.
Yeah. And again, it fits in where like half of the earlier videos, outside of a few ones that obviously are not story videos, but like where a lot of people were like Luigi talking about beating 40/20 mode, Freddy Fazbear playing Ultimate Custom Night, Mario Phantom Foxy playing Ultimate Custom Night, Nightmare Freddy played Ultimate Custom Night at one point, Chef Finn did a whole like reaction video thing and left out Chef. So it's like, oh yeah, here it is again. I re-uploaded that segment of the video separate. But yeah, it's, it's like you got all these parts, and like you got like all this like story elements of like them kinda gaming and kinda quote unquote running a channel. Cause I know in like there's a video where like Luigi literally like addresses. A lot of the outros, if we notice, a lot of them we had the characters addressing, because in the end of the Toad is Missing, Luigi does like the outro, and besides being like, oh yeah, here's the question of the day, he's like, you guys gotta help me find Toad. So it's like the characters kinda were like, they were aware that they could be well, you could say parts of the videos like, made it like they were filming something, and other parts are just story driven, but it is an element that you don't see too often nowadays. The only thing I can like remotely point close to is, where's the video? Well, not counting the meta video for one of the anniversaries. There's a video. There's the video. There's a video literally where it's about the plush insert. Yeah, right here. Where's Super Mario DJ? There's literally a video about where the plush insert of Super Mario DJ was, and he was literally filming a video halfway through that video. So it's like, some of the characters know that their videos get made and others don't. So it's like, it's a story element that I think I just played around with, but it honestly didn't stick. It didn't stick around. And that's another thing that goes into like two questions, like what elements stick, or what elements have stuck around, and how has the arc shaped videos. Well, it's shaped like the location wise, where videos are filmed and take place, but also it's like there's other things like where we see other story threads where like you feel like there are similar elements or just elements that like the Toad arc inspired, and that's gonna lead to like the last big point that I'll get into shortly. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like I said, the whole like video based thing kind of definitely has dropped off. But I will be honest, I have considered like a couple, hey, like just like obviously a one-off idea of like, oh, maybe I could bring it back for like a one-off gag remastered. Because I feel like I could like do a wave.
Is that when we came up with the like the blue M&M like addiction machine thing? At one point.
Well, him playing a game, I wouldn't say being with the whole M&M machine. I wouldn't say I was necessarily driven from like the gameplay videos, but like there's essentially elements where like we have Mario and Luigi talking about, you know, they're gonna try and buy a game or something, or we literally have moments in videos where like they're essentially playing games. So like that element, well, like not present as like direct videos, is still kind of there, but like just obviously it's not like, oh, hey guys, it's me, Luigi from the Plush videos. I'm playing Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator today. See,
I think there's a couple Plush videos that we started with them playing a game.
Yeah.
I think one of them they were playing Mario Kart at the beginning, and then go out like on an adventure or something.
Yeah. That's definitely true.
Because we had a couple of Plush videos that they would start playing the game and then go on an adventure, and then they would just pick up where they left off at the end.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say another thing that the Toad arc did shape for future Plush videos was like, and it's gonna lead to like the last big question of the stream, but it's like where a lot of the whole story thread was at least connected through multiple videos, whether how big or small the videos were. Like the entire story, you could keep up to date with what the story was through the different videos without having to like necessarily backtrack. Like it was always Toad went missing, Shadow Bonnie's doing something, Shadow Bonnie wins, Toad makes up for it, Mario and Luigi and everyone else was concerned for Toad and all that fun stuff. So like I think all those you could pick up on all those story elements and, you know, not get too lost, you know. And a lot of that has kind of stuck with future videos where it's like there's like, you know, if like best example is Halloween last year. We introduced Polterpup, and Polterpup has been in like a majority of the first 3 videos of the year. So that's like a consistent thing. You know, something was introduced, we're keeping it consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I know I cut you off. You were gonna say something when I was talking about that point.
I was gonna say about like, even though how short half those videos were in the arc, there was like a good amount of lore in them.
Yeah.
That people got along with the story.
Yep. For sure. But yeah.
I mean, we kind of had that small one when Mario went missing for a few, like, for few handful of months.
Yeah, that with that, I guess we should talk about essentially like the last big question of the description is like I've addressed this as the one and only story arc, but the real question is that really the case? Because if we really look, and if we look at the small details, if we look like late, so like Toad Arc was early 2019. If we look late 2019, we had a lot of stuff going on. There was some more Shadow Bunny, Phantom Foxy lore that I started, and I realized I never expanded upon. But like we're still doing stuff with them. We were still having everyone else go about their days. But then we had this weird video, which was gonna probably lead into a couple more videos that were numbered, but never did. So we have number 1 Butters, which starts off something that you will pay if you pay close attention in some videos, sets off a chain of reaction of events. And part of like a lot of like the late 2019 videos are a bit weird, I will admit, because back in 2019 or in 2020 there was like that whole like COPPA thing going around, and I was like, I use funny toys to tell stories, and it's like, toys are kids things, and yeah, it was a whole mess. But it wasn't really a mess when 2020 actually came around, because something else came around in 2020. But yeah, so Butters was like gonna set off a chain of reaction, and even this ties into a random music video, Plush video that I did, and it's like, it's so weird that it takes place and affects a music video of all things. But there was stuff going on about Grey Bonnie was gonna work on something. And actually, if we pay attention, we do see some stuff going on where, like I said, Butters goes missing. Like, literally a couple videos into 2020, we have this whole Ennard video where, like, he's down in the dumps because Ennard is MIA. And then we have a whole thing about Grey Bonnie's missing. And, you know, the more you look into it, the more you realize stuff is going on. And more people start turning up missing in 2020. I wonder why.
I wonder why everyone started going missing.
Like we had Butters go missing late 2019, and then we had you know, and the whole Ennard thing. Grey Bonnie went missing, and he was in Butters number 1 Butters. He kind of reemerges in the Easter special, but then that's about it. And we get the whole Freddy's dealing with animatronics going missing. Mario is finally revealed, like I think like mid 2020, that Mario is missing, and he reappears for like 1 video and then disappears again.
I mean, there was a couple videos that he appeared in, but also then disappeared again.
Yeah, that's another point of like, there's stuff going on, but the consistency was still there, where it's like, even if Mario did reappear and suddenly like go back under the radar again, like everyone was still being like, okay, we might be able to be in contact with Mario, we might be able to keep up to date where he is, because there's a few videos where you have Luigi literally on the phone with Mario, and it's like, you know, well, he's keeping up to date with Mario, so we know he's still out there somewhere. And then we start, and then there's like, and then there's also back in like in the one of the missing videos, like we have there's like a whole sub story that it gets intertwined about Bonnie, and we get to see some of that play out through some of the videos. And
yeah, because Bonnie becomes a phone.
Yeah. And we get to a whole we get to a point in like I think mid 2021 where we kind of catch back up with Phantom Foxy and Shadow Bonnie, and they had been like somehow disconnected from each other for a small bit of time, and we start to see things kind of ramp back up towards the end of 2021, where things start to get back to a normal, because like some storylines start to get resolved. Mario comes back to being a main character in the Mario and Luigi videos. Phantom Foxy and Shadow Bonnie start reconnecting. Bonnie still remains a phone, but that's a lore reason why he's still a phone in 2022. We see some characters reemerge, like we finally get some Bowser Jr. action. Spring Bonnie returns. And there's videos like the card game where Ennard makes an appearance and he is still as he was however many years in, back when it was Cheer Up Ennard. So again, story elements, even if a character hasn't appeared for a year or so, or a couple of videos, like they still are, we still continue their story arcs. And we finally closed more story arcs up in 2022. And then things kind of return, I would say, to a normal in like 2023, where like we literally get everyone back to where they were. We literally see we have Bowser Jr. adventures, Mario and Luigi adventures, FNAF adventures, and we have more Shadow Bonnie, Gray Bonnie, and in some of the recent videos you will notice like Chef Finn's Vacation or Thankful Ennard, and the Easter special. Like Gray Bonnie is still trying to do something, but we get to find out, like, between Thankful Ennard's Thanksgiving special and, like, as of, like, the latest video, there's, like, some downfalls going on for Gray Bonnie. So there have technically been, like, if not, like, a full-on, like, Toad Arc level of series of videos that were like essentially one after the other released in a timely manner. There have been like other substantial storylines and you can say like mini arcs that have continued across like multiple years. Again, I like to dub a lot of the 2020 videos as the 2020 arc, because a lot of stuff did go down where I had to change up storylines drastically in 2020, so a lot of stuff did get altered. So it's like 2020 almost serves as its own arc. And then with me finishing up the Ennard Butters story, counting how many videos there are, like they are very loosely connected. Like, there's essentially like a whole story arc there. And there have been a few just random Shadow Bonnie videos where you will see Butters in the background, because obviously we know he's there. So yeah, there have kind of been other story arcs, but maybe not necessarily to the level of the Toad arc.
No, they've just been very small and minimum arcs.
Yeah, because it's like, if they were more like connected, like if we had done like a few Ennard videos in a span of like a couple months, and we had concluded the story sooner, then like that whole Butters arc could have been an arc. But with it being so thinly spread out across like a good batch of videos across a couple of years, it obviously you'll never get like the full story, because it's like all you'll know from that is Butters was taken, Butters had been with Gray Bonnie for however many years, and then finally last year they're like, enough's enough. We're putting an end to this.
Enough.
And we literally we're like, you know what? We need to cut this storyline free. We need to free the storyline. So, and that's kind of what we did with like Bonnie and Mario's storyline too. But to be fair, Mario's had a cleaner storyline, and again, Bonnie's had a cleaner storyline too, where it's like there were still videos in 2020 too where he was still a phone, but that was because it was building up to the end of the year where he's like, you know what, we finally fixed Bonnie. Bonnie's back in action, everybody.
Bonnie's no longer a phone.
Yeah, so It all kind of work. Yeah, most of the stories all work out and connect to each other loosely in some way, shape, or form. Like all like the Bowser Jr. videos at least connect to one another, even if they're all scattered about, and they all are very different from one another. Again, I think like the big takeaway for a lot of the videos in the Toad Arc is consistency and making sure the story elements are connected to one another. Because like if it's not connected, then you get like this big mess of like a story, thing. So, yeah.
I mean, at least you get to introduce new characters.
Yeah.
So that can lead up to maybe another arc in future Plush videos.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, just to reflect on the Toad Arc, is comparing Shadow Bonnie and Phantom Foxy and Grey Bonnie to how they started out in 2019 to, I would say, their more modern interpretations. They honestly, I feel like they've gone through a bit of an arc, because like we have seen across some of the videos, I think it's like between like I would say between post Toad Arc and now, like we get to see like this relationship between Shadow, Bonnie, and Phantom Foxy. Like they care for each other as friends, so it's like, if something bad happened to the other, like they would be royally pissed off and whatnot. And it's almost like, you almost feel like that friendship that they have for one another is the whole reason, like, they kind of, like, end up not being as aggressive as they were. And that literally turns Grey Bonnie into a more aggressive entity, because there is still a consistent story element of, like, Grey Bonnie and Shadow Bonnie were, like, partly the same entity at one point. So we get to see that it's like, they have evolved in some way. But for better or worse, that's for you to find out in, future videos. If I'm being honest for one of them though, Grey Bonnie, I feel like has definitely maybe evolved for the worse, because he is really unhinged and he does shout a lot in a lot more of the recent videos.
Shadow Bonnie seems like more calmer in like different Plush videos.
Yeah.
Grey Bonnie is more like the ruthless, and then Shadow Bonnie's like, oh hey, I'm here.
Yeah. And depending on the day and the mood he's in, he'll either screw with you, or he'll be like, you're not worth my time today.
Worth it. Good.
And Phantom Foxy, again, since the Toad Arc, and like I said, the day in the life of Phantom Foxy has always shown, like, sure, he works with, like, Shadow Bonnie, Grey Bonnie, and even Springtrap is addressed by some of the other videos. He does have that side where he's like, he knows his limits, and knows when not to push. Because it's like, there have been times where, like, I think Shadow Bonnie, Phantom Foxy has literally gone up to other people and literally just, like, have had a conversation with them, or, has kind of helped them out. Like, back in, like, I think it's back in the 29 Christmas special, like, Phantom Foxy literally goes to Mario and, like, hey, I need your help. So.
Yeah, there's a couple videos where Phantom Foxy turns out not to be, like, evil or mean.
Yeah.
I think wasn't he in the card game video?
Yeah, he was. He gets randomly invited, and we have like reactions of characters who have dealt with the bad side of him, and it's like, why is he here? And it's like, he's just here to play a game of cards. What's wrong with that?
I just want to play a game of cards. Honestly, that's like my favorite Plush video, is the card video, because how mad Finn gets.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like you get reactions from Mario and Luigi, and it's like he's like I'm just here to play a game of cards.
I'm just here to play a game of cards, and then Ennard is no longer like sad in the closet anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, Foxy is partly the reason why the Thanksgiving special happens. So there are good and bad sides of some of these characters and whatnot. So we'll just get to see how they put that to use in future stories and potentially another arc. Like if there's another point for another big arc. Which I feel like there is. This is 5 years sitting, and again, like I said, it holds up pretty well with a few issues of some of the older videos. But some of those issues are just because of one thing or another. But yeah, honestly, there's a
Bowser Jr. can have an arc.
Yeah.
Or Bowser can have an arc where he's been.
Yeah. Alright.
Again, that gallon of milk that he went to get, but he forgot it.
Yeah. Well, stream's not over just yet, but I'm going to take a quick break to refill my water, and then we'll be back for a few more minutes. So you can either mute or just ramble, whatever, up to you.
I mean, I gotta get food, but I'll be back.
Alright.
Or you can just wait, don't really matter.
Alright. Welcome back, everybody. That wasn't really going to be a long break anyways, so... And this stream has turned out not to be as long as I needed it to, so you know what? That's pretty good. Still got a couple last minute things to get off for the video, and that will be that. Also, I kind of noticed, but I didn't get to say hi, hello. Someone is in chat, or was in chat. I don't know if you're still here, but welcome. But yeah, so yeah. So do I think there would be another major story arc? I feel like the possibility is there. There's definitely going to need to be something. If it's not like a full video, maybe like if we do another mini movie, we'll need to do something about Gray Bonnie, because he's obviously been trying to build up something for a couple years now, and it hasn't come to fruition yet. So, where I was like, I feel like we're again, where I was, like I said, earlier, we were closing off storylines and other elements in other videos. I feel like that's something like we gotta probably bring to a climax soon, so it's not being dragged on for another year or so. So that's probably gonna be another thing to come out at some point this year. There's probably gonna be another big event, because again, Grey Bonnie's been building up to this thing for months and years now, and to have him not carry out with it would be wrong. Also, hey Livy, welcome to the stream.
Continue.
Yeah, so I feel like we need to get this over with so we can see him grow as a character, and you know. And I feel like we also need to see a bit more of some of the other villains too, because like he dragged in Nightmare Freddy last year for the summer special, but we haven't really seen much of Nightmare Freddy in forever. And he was like, and if we go back to the very beginning, Nightmare Freddy was a protagonist from like one of the 2 months into the channel's lifespan. Nightmare Freddy was like the OG protagonist, if I'm being, or antagonist, I should say. He was like gunning for Luigi for some reason, and I feel like we need to we need to dive in a little more into that. Like, why was he doing what he did? I feel like since it is older story elements that I haven't really touched in a while, I feel like mainly Nightmare Freddy may have done what he did because, like, you know, he just likes to scare people. Because I feel like that's been brought up a couple times. But yeah, and then there's obviously Springtrap, which was who's been another threat for like Luigi specifically. And it's also interesting that there've been like some villains that have like singled out characters, like Nightmare Freddy and Springtrap have both gone after Luigi at least once or twice. And it's like,
I mean, we haven't seen Nightmare Foxy since the 1 year.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. Like we haven't gone back to the Nightmares again, because they were other OG villains, and they have not been, like, you know, brought up in forever. Like we had Springtrap have the honor of meeting Blue Toad, and it's like, you know, he's had his moments in the spotlight, but recently he's kind of like dwindled down. Also I cut you off again. What were you saying?
I honestly forgot what I was trying to say, to be honest.
Oh, I know we were talking about the Nightmares and Springtrap.
Yeah, well, the Nightmare Foxy is more like the minion. He's not like really a side character.
Yeah. And I don't know. We have seen some other threats pop up too. Like we had like the whole Jacko issue that Freddy Fazbear had to deal with.
Oh god, that one killed my voice.
And we had a Spring Bonnie kind of deal with, like, not really a villain per se, but he dealt with like an antagonist when they were trying to get a golden egg. Like there's like this like misfit band of animatronics and a Yoshi.
You also haven't seen Spring Bonnies, then I don't know.
Yeah, Spring Bonnie was last in the card game.
Oh yeah, I forgot that he was in the card game.
Yeah, he was in the card game. Yeah, and that's another thing I might say that, like, it's just another big thing with the videos where it's like there's a lot of characters to play around with and have different stories with, but at the same time it's like, you know, you focus on one group of characters for so long that like another group of characters gets overlooked for like a period of time. So, I definitely think you'll see a nice shift of characters in hopefully the next few videos, because I'm gonna try and find a nice balance between, you know, old and new characters and certain bands of characters. Like, we literally had a small return of like Rockstar Freddy and Pig Patch, which had a video ages ago, and they just had their like reappearance with this year's video for St. Paddy's Day. Not to mention, like, we now have some like junior content to start diving into with Bowser returning and just the return of like certain characters like the Red Bomb.
That's what you call the magical kingdom of rejects.
Mm.
Is what Mario calls it.
Yeah.
That's where he's been for the half year.
That's where he was for at least 2020 and part of 2021.
Yeah, he was at the magical kingdom of rejects.
Yeah.
But we can say more a Shy Guy now since we introduced him.
Yeah, Shy Guy was a very small cameo back in the 1 year special, and he has since regrown as a character. He literally got reintroduced as the shyest guy, because it's like he did one heroic thing, and then he fell off the face of the earth because he literally became a shy guy.
Yeah, and then we have a few other like Bowser people that we have yet to put in here yet in the Bowser.
In the Bowser Jr. videos. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely gonna be like a lot more interactive with certain characters. Like, we'll definitely try and bring back like Spring Bonnie in some capacity. We're gonna try and you know, we'll check back in with Freddy and the bands soon, because we haven't seen them since like Halloween at the very least. At least Freddy and Bonnie, anyways. Before that was the 4th of July, where Freddy was grumpy. Grumpy. Where Freddy was a bah humbug for 4th of July.
Yeah, we see more of the fun times recent videos.
Yeah, because it was like they were like the star of the Valentine's video last year. We wanted to close off the Ennard arc, and I think even before that, like we had still seen them in a few other videos too. Like Fun Night Foxy randomly showed up in 2022's Halloween special. Fun Night Foxy was also in Who Killed Blue M&M.
Did you do this? No.
Again, Ennard was in the card game. There's a very different Fun Time Foxy.
We haven't seen more of Butters.
Yeah, but Butters will hopefully reappear now in other videos too. But he'll probably appear alongside Ennard, because obviously they're like a duo cast.
You haven't seen Bonnet in a while.
Yeah.
At least with the Fun Time gang.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Bonnet. I don't even know the last time anyone saw her.
Might have been the Valentine's special, I want to say. If I had something not covering, my screen, thank you. Yeah, Bonnet was in it for at least a minute or two of Circus Baby's crush.
But Funtime Freddy wanted to do something illegal.
Uh-huh.
They wanted to drag Funtime Foxy with them.
Yeah.
That's actually when you first see Bonnie as not as a phone. Like, my first video with him not being one.
Yeah, that is the first video back in 2022, and since then he's been himself in, like I said, the 4th of July special. We need to have more Bonnie and Mario hangouts, because like they used to hang out in some of the earlier videos too. We used to have, like, Bonnie was literally there. Bonnie was there in Luigi's birthday gift. Bonnie was there. Bonnie was there in the 1-year special. Bonnie had been hanging around in a few other videos. Bonnie was like another. Yeah, Bonnie was in, like, I think Christmas special 2019 too. Like, yeah, Bonnie and Mario had like this friendship dynamic that we haven't brought back in a while either. So yeah, going forward, I definitely think there's going to be a lot more character dynamics and character interactions that need to be kind of brought back up. Again, we need to try and build up to this whole Gray Bonnie thing, so we can finally close the book on that. You know, obviously, if there, you know, there probably will be points where another character or two brand new character gets introduced. But yeah, we're definitely gonna try and have a lot of videos be like, you get a nice mix of the cast of characters, and also have maybe another, like, build up storyline in the background too. So
yeah, it's just sad we won't be able to see Theodore anymore.
yeah.
He appeared in a couple of videos, and then he just disappeared.
Yeah, that kind of happened. But yeah. Oh yeah, let me also, there's one, this isn't a big point, but it's just something I just remembered I wanted to briefly mention. So with me reviewing the Toad Arc for this stream and whatnot, I forgot that obviously, like, there was the whole Shadow Bonnie takeover, and I forgot to mention that thumbnail was, like, briefly edited by Mr. Matt back in 2019. So that was one of the first things I kind of, like, did with Matt, which was fun. He kind of, like, edited a goofy thumbnail for me. And I forgot, I think back in 2020, there was a brief point where there was a joke sequel to that video. So, and there was also, like, a lot of, like, joke videos. Like, there was a lot of, like, gags in, like, late 2020 where it's like, I kept making it like, oh yeah, they were always still they were still trying to go after the computer. But, like, I think with me joking about it, I think that was me kind of saying, like, you know, this storyline's dead. They are no longer really going after the computer anymore. So yeah. But yeah, so I would say, in conclusion, I think obviously, yeah, the Toad Arc holds up pretty strong. It's, again, it is the official first and only, well, again, only like, I would say only in quotation marks, story arc, because, again, we've talked about there have been smaller ones that have loosely been breadcrumbed across other videos. But I would say, for what it was worth, it was a fun, small story arc to explain me moving from one place to another, but also to, like, build up this story arc that I've been doing about, you know, where the character's game, and Shadow Bonnie wanted that for himself, so he did this whole plan to, like, literally take control for himself, to the point where he literally had to live streamed. So there's that whole can of worms. And we had, like, this whole growth with Toad. We had this whole growth with Toad where, like, you know, he kind of has, you know, did something very wrong because he was forced to, and he kind of turned it around. So it's a pretty solid story, you know. 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8.5. It's a solid story with a few flaws. So yeah. And I mean, I haven't mentioned Toad. We haven't even mentioned Toad, and he's, like, the full focus of the Toad Arc. But Toad has still also been around. He hasn't been around much, because I've been trying to find ways to fit Toad in, and I probably should put him in more Mario and Luigi videos if I'm being honest. But it's like Toad has been around. He was in a couple holiday specials. He was in I think the Thanksgiving disaster, and like I think the following Thanksgiving one that was about like the Yoshi's heist. So like Toad has still been around, but you know, I would say a lot of Toad's activity has been like a lot of off camera activities. He's just like been working and doing other things. But Toad will also return. I'm gonna try and make sure Toad also returns, since you know Toad's a fun character. I don't do much with him or Blue Toad. I feel like I need to do more with those two, because those Toads are kind of funny. They both have their they both have their different quirks and personality traits. So I gotta try and bring them back whenever I can. So yeah, Toad will return among a lot of other characters and whatnot. So I think that's like the you know, the driving home point of the stream. So yeah, anything else you want to add?
No, not really.
Fair enough. Well, I appreciate you take some time to join me for this short little stream.
Well, I mean, it's good to look back at older Plush videos, not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
It's good to look back at older ones.
Yeah, and I went to kind of briefly talk about this at the start, but I think this also works as a good end point too. If I can find something I made on the last behind the scenes stream, where's the document? I don't remember what I named it. Where? BTS videos and streams. There we go. But if I open this notepad that I created back a while ago, literally at the very top of this was the Toad arc. So that is literally one of the things done. But there are some other things that can be talked about, and we might see a return of Mario JB Jason joining to talk about some of those, because again, Plush videos aren't the only story-driven elements on the channel, and there's some other stories that might be never finished or never came to existence, and might be still in development that can be talked about.
Yeah, like Portal Pals.
Portal Pals, Fazbear Investigators, the original FNAF world. And even if he doesn't necessarily do it on his channel, I can always host a stream here as a collab thing, where if he wants to talk about his own story projects.
Yes, but I have one currently being edited right now.
Yep. Bam.
That should be out by either the weekend or maybe a couple days after. Yeah.
So yeah. With that being said, though, that concludes this behind the scenes of the Toad arc. You know, I'm gonna probably in future see maybe about making some of these more video formatted, but I do like the live talks, because it's like I can talk about this more in a flow. I can get you guys to ask some questions and just, you know, get some fun engagement. I know chat hasn't really been in you know, active this much, you know, much today, but I'm sure in future if I do another one of these, or like I said, more of these, maybe I'll do them at better times and we can get more interactions. Because I think there is potential to get some like fun, like essentially Q&A elements into behind the scenes content, besides me like posing my own questions in the description to talk about. So, but yeah, you know, if you want more behind the scenes content, there's the whole previous stream from last year, and there's the original like 5, the 5 existing videos. Which, if I had to pick, I didn't do this last stream, but I don't know there's a couple fun ones. If I could suggest one to watch, I would say go watch the bloopers and behind the scenes of the very first April Fool's special. That was fun. But there's also some fun lore details about like some previous deleted scenes and canceled parts of Plush videos. So definitely check that out. But with that being said, and until next time. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe, everyone's appreciated. Hit the bell to be notified when I come back to do more content on the channel. Obviously, there was 10 likes for more behind the scenes content. We have like 1 or 2 right now. I appreciate you guys leaving a like. Check out the links in the description. Go watch the Toad Arc for yourself. Go over to the Mario JB channel for some other content. Listen to the Paper Mario soundtrack. Well, not the full soundtrack, but one of the tracks that I use for the intro music. And, you know, just check out Mario JB. He's a cool dude. He makes videos.
Yes. There'll be a live stream tomorrow, so watch out for that, guys.
Yeah. So with that being said, until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you on the flip side, and it's outro time. You wanna say any closing? Yeah. See you all next time. It's outro time, everybody.